YouTube fans, here again. And as we know, I'm going for a 1984 marathon of action films. Why not this one? Starring Arnold Schwarzenegger. Now, I've already done The Exterminator, and this is sort of a sequel to Job the Barbarian. Get this off my ear, that's something stuck in my ear. But yeah, Job the Destroyer being this follow-up to Job the Barbarian. Now, I don't miss Arnie in films like this, to be honest, and I'd love to see what Arnie would have been like if he would have been in Deathstalker. Imagine Arnie as Deathstalker, or maybe other films. You know what I mean, with that sort of nature. I mean, I know he was in Red Sonla, but in all fairness, was Arnie really the star of Red Sonla? We all know it wasn't. But he sort of took the role, as you could say. But in this, he was the star, being Job the Destroyer, what was star of a follow-up to Job the Barbarian. And the success of Job the Barbarian, 2 years later, they decided, why not, make a follow-up, without repeating myself. So Job the Destroyer starts off with that beautiful, beautiful epic music again, what was used in the original, that that music. I always like the bit of also Arnie as an old man with a fake beard, and he's sort of like the wise old man. That's how I see myself. And so on. So at first, you've got these people trying to attack Arnie. Arnie gets the better of them, and then this woman comes out of nowhere. At first, you think she's a dud woman. And if you think you've seen the actress before, think of the 3 villains in Superman 2, the female one. What's the name? And what was the character's name now? Sandless or something. I can't remember her frigging name now. And the 3 villains is Superman 2. You know the one I'm on about. Well, she comes in here and first she thinks she's done. She wants Anna as Job the Destroyer in this one to save this beautiful princess and take her to this castle, and he can get whatever he wants. He could be a king and so on. And you get a little bit of a disappearance of the one who is Arnie's woman, you know, the one who was the warrior woman in Job the Barbarian. You saw a little flashback of that a little bit, saying that she could resurrect her back from the dead. And Arnie thinks, yeah, why not? I want my woman back. So he teams up with people on the way, and I like this, you know, it's sort of like an old Stuart Fencer film. When you think about it, Job the Destroyer is sort of like an old Stuart Fencer film. You've got this beautiful princess, you've got the idea she's a virgin, typical adventure story, and she's going to get sacrificed by this evil monster. So this queen isn't as nice as she's made out to be. She wants to sacrifice her so she can have all the power of the world. So basically she's using her. So they go on this 8th journey. Like I say, it's an old Stuart Fencer film. There's bits in it where it's just like Job the Barbarian. I wish it was an 18 rating, you know, like in the comic books. And he ripping arms and legs off, cutting people's heads off, slicing people's heads in half. It's not me being bloodthirsty. I just felt it would have given it a bit more of an impact. But you know what I mean? I know that's not the case. But I do love the original art cover. Very epic. You got Arnie with his big raping muscles. And that is why I say, these are the sort of films Arnie would have suited. But I think at the time, I didn't want to be typecasted, playing warrior films, showing off his raping biceps. So he went into films that say like The Exterminator, Commando, sort of go on. So, like I say, he's saving this princess. You do get a disappearance by Pat Roach. He was well known in those roles. I mean, he was well known for doing Raiders. Same year he did this, he played a big Indian guy in Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. 1 year after this, he makes a small appearance in Red Sonla, speaking of Red Sonla. So he was well known for doing a lot. Now you do get Jace Jones. This was 1 year before she played the evil villain in the classic Bond film, A View to a Kill. So I kind of like her in this, you know what I mean? I like her. I mean, first she's a slave, and he's saved her, he cuts her chains off, says, right, you're saved, you're no longer a slave, you can work for me. So she becomes Arnie's helper, if you know what I mean. So they're on this ship. The princess they start for, it's really pretty to look at. She's just high-handed, but she's just doing a good performance. She's talking about what's it like to have a man, she's a virgin. And Jace Jones says, you just take him. I love the performance of Jace Jones, you know what I mean? She's well known being in the music business, and this was her big break. Thanks because of this, she had a big break playing, like I say, the villain Mayday. in A View to a Kill, 1 year after. So that's what's going on, going around the house here. Pat Volts makes a test appearance. He ducks the princess. He turns into this gene monster. And he's just finding an excuse to sell his apps. Manages to kill her. But look, I do like this. I think it was unique though, because see how he outsmarts this monster. You've got these mirrors, right? And what he does, he smashes the mirrors. Sounds a bit like an Enter the Dragon. But he smashes the mirrors and it destroys the monster. And he destroys it. I like that little touch. So again, you get a good bit of stop motion. How I miss, banging my fucking head, how I miss them golden days of stop motion. How I miss them. So you get a lot of good practical effects again. Is it as good as the first one? No, but I look at this as a standalone film, and over the years, people doing this shit, saying, oh, it's mild compared to the first one, but I didn't think the first one was that gruesome. Okay, it had a bit more bonking in it, and there's a lot more gruesome. I thought it's on the original scene where the king got massacred, it would have been more bloodier, but I don't think anything was really fine. I want to see blood and gore, I'll just watch the original Deathstalker, or watch The Sword and the Sorcerer. You know what I mean? But this one, I like it for what it is. It's an old school adventure film. It's an old school adventure film they don't make anymore. We did practical effects, fancy adventure. So they go on. So you got this guy who you think's going to be Arnie's mate. They go into this cave. You find out he's working for the Queen. They have an epic fight scene. It does Arnie wins because he's Arnie. Kicks the shit out of this big mustardy guy. Doesn't actually just sell biceps as usual. And Arnie kills him, gets the better of him, and finds out that they were being used. Find out the evil queen was using them to sacrifice his princess. So they're about to sacrifice her to this monster. Arnie saves the day. Monster kills the evil queen, and then Arnie has a beautiful, beautiful, epic fight with the monster. It's lovely. He rips his trust off. That's like this big spiky nose thing there, and he gets it. It looks like a big fucking wrestling mask. If there's ever a day I can find a way of making a funny video of it, like they do on YouTube, I'd love to do it and get away with copyright, where they could make it look like a wrestling match. Because it does, you got Arnie diving on it, and he rips the tusk off, it bleeds to death, he kills it, saves the princess, and then they're all going to get these little awards, you know, for saving the pretty princess. That's a bit like a Deathstalker too. And then the princess offers herself to him. She's not his sort of woman. Same because she's that nice to look at, but obviously Arnie didn't fancy her. Arnie walks off after she sees all the good people and all the nice people awards, like the wizard. He was, you know, a typical bit of a laugh. Used a lot in them films, you know, the silly man person. Dave J. Jones her award. So she got an award. She got down the next film, A View to a Kill. Arnie, like I say, walks off. So it's the old far Arnie, you get a monologue, end of movie. I do know over this was planning on making a third Golden, but sad to say it never got to be. It's never got that fucking horrible remake. Red Sonja was its own film, but in all fairness, Sylvester Stallone's ex-wife is not the star of that film. She's not the star. Okay, she was pretty to look at in that era when she played Red Sonja. Okay, I like the fact she uses a sword and she does a bit of fighting in it. But in all fairness, as soon as she's in it, Bo Derek, I think that was her name, Sylvester Stallone's ex-wife, the film that bought her a boob job. In all fairness, Arnie was more the star of that film. And the rumour of that film, if I ever told you the rumours of that film, that's more interesting than the film itself. But I just read Sonja that it's due. I don't think it's as bad as what people made it out to be. It's a good, solid adventure film. I just think that Arnie was more of the star than Red Sonja was. But it's like I say, Arnie never got his looks. He never got his big break of doing any more of this. There was talk of making a third one. Would I want to see it now with the old Arnie? This was the Arnie I miss. You know, the biceps, the witty liners, Arnie's kicking the shit out of people. This is the Arnold Schwarzenegger got when he was in his dirty 30s. I totally miss when it's the original Exterminator. He's mowing coppers left, right, and centre. Whether it's the Mando, he's shooting people, it's out of fire. I love it. No, this is the Arnie I miss. I miss this Arnie. But this was dubbed The Destroyer in 1984. Sad to say it wasn't as successful as Job the Barbarian, but over the years, I love it. I love the fact you got Dave Jones in it, kicking the shit out of people. I love the fact that Arnie's kicking the shit out of people. You got practical effects. So they go on. We're into them. Be smart, be safe, and as Arnie says, I'll be back to do some more movie reviews and more things on the way.